welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a foundation review and wear test on this foundation here. This is the Clinique Moisture Surge Sheer Tint Hydrator. It is the time of skin tints, and I had this kind of just kicking around unopened in my collection, and I really wanted to test it out. So in today's video, I'll be pulling you in a little bit closer, talking about the details of this while I apply it. Then I'll be doing a check-in outside in natural daylight around halfway through my day, inserting in some swatches, comparing this skin tint to some other skin tints in my collection. Then at the very end of the day, coming back and giving my final thoughts on how the foundation wore and what I think of it so far. So if that sounds good to you, if you like foundation reviews, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I would love it if you stuck around, but with all that, let's just get started. All right, if you're new to one of my foundation videos, I never wear a primer when doing these wear tests just because I want to get a good baseline of what the foundation can do. And then in the future, I'll go and tweak it depending on how the wear test goes. So I only have on my skincare, including SPF, even though this is kind of advertised as a tinted sunscreen skincare type product. I'm still going to use SPF because it's SPF 25 and you're not supposed to apply too much. Now this does have 1.4 fluid ounces, so more than your standard 1 fluid ounce. It retails for $44, which I think is pretty pricey even for Clinique. I think Clinique has other foundations, like actual foundations that are less expensive, and it comes in 5 shades. I have the shade Universal Light Medium. Here is what it looks like. It's a lot thicker than I was expecting. I kind of was thinking it was going to be a little bit runnier, but it's not running down my hand at all. It has like some good firmness to it. I'm just gonna go in. Now, this claims to have sheer coverage with a natural finish. They say to use your fingers like most kind of skin tints, so I'm gonna do that. It is quite dark on my face, but hopefully this sheers out. Yeah, it's doing okay. It says that it's for all skin types, and I do have normal, leaning, dry skin, I would say. And what else does this claim? It claims to provide ultimate hydration for 12 hours. It is sweat proof and humidity proof, so I will definitely be testing that out. I will be outside for a lot of the day today. I just have a lot of outside things I need to help out with. So we'll test out how it does in the heat, because this is a product I would think you would wear more in the summertime when you kind of just want a little bit of something but don't want to go in with a full face. And I think that's about it. It has like aloe water. I'm not going to go into all that. That doesn't really interest me. I just care on how the foundation actually wears. So as far as what I like, I do prefer like a light medium coverage. I don't go for the no makeup look every day. I like kind of having some coverage to it. I do prefer a natural matte finish only because I can get oily in my T-zone here, and I feel like a natural matte is going to kind of keep the oils at bay more than something that's a little bit dewy. I'm just gonna basically go downhill with dewiness if it's already just glowy off the bat, which this is like a natural radiant is kind of what it's looking like so far. So that's a little concerning to me. We'll have to see how it does, because if you're just outside all day, even if it's sweat proof, I can't imagine it's gonna like not make me sweat. So we'll just see. It does look nice though. It did sheer out okay. Matches my neck. I mean, my face gets a little bit lighter. It doesn't tan as quickly because I do wear SPF. I'm just gonna use my sponge to go over this while I talk. But those are pretty much all the claims and information, as well as what I like. I do think when I finish up my makeup here, just going off of the finish, I'll probably powder in my T-zone, but I don't want to powder too much. I don't want the powder to hold the oil back. I really want to see what happens. So I'll probably just use like powder complexion products like bronzer, blush, and highlight, and then just powder my T-zone and see what it does from there. But I'll always let you know. And I always list my makeup down in the description box in case you're curious and I forget. This is looking good. It is sheer coverage. It's, I think, a little bit heavier than sheer. Like, I have some skin tints that provide less coverage than this. So it does have a little bit of something, and it definitely is like a radiant. I wouldn't even say this is natural. This is a light radiant finish. And what I'm having trouble with is it just isn't really doing anything for my skin other than just providing some coverage and covering some redness. Like, it's still, you know, it's not enhancing my enlarged pores, but it's not blurring them. If you have like really nice skin, which I know I have pretty decent skin, I would say, then you'd really like this. But I want it to do something a little bit more. And the problem is, like 2 weeks ago, I did a foundation review on the Fenty Eaze drops, which I'll link above and below. And that one was like very blurring on the skin, and it has similar claims. So I'm in my head comparing it to that, and this isn't doing as much. But I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna go finish up the rest of my makeup, kind of let this sit and settle, and I'll be back to just give you my first impression thoughts. Rest of my makeup is on, and I have to say I'm feeling better about the foundation. I'm feeling a little bit more confident. I feel like it really just settled into my skin more. It looks less radiant since I used powder products on top. I still didn't set my face. I only applied powder under where my concealer is and in my T-zone, and then powder products on my cheeks. But, you know, the powder products, the bronzer went on just fine. It didn't cling to the foundation or anything, considering I didn't set it. And I feel like it just looks a little bit more how I want it to look. A lot more natural, less like I'm wearing skincare, and more like just a tinted moisturizer. So I'm happy with how it's looking. I was a little worried at first that I was gonna have a dud on my hands, but now that I've applied it all, and this is what it's looking like, even my pores look better. So I'm feeling a lot more reassured, I guess. But I'm now just gonna go on to the rest of my day, and in about 4 or 5 hours, I will check in with you all outside in natural daylight. I'm about halfway through my day now, and I've been outside pretty much since I filmed this morning. My 60-year-old mom decided to DIY a pool. It's like one of those pool in a box, and you like build it together, and she's had the hole dug and we've been putting it together. So it's been a lot of work, and I am tired and hot. So I can say that the foundation is fairly sweat resistant. I know I'm like half shade, half sun, but I'm trying not to be able to like have my face right in the sun. It's held up pretty well for being outside in pretty hot weather. So I'm impressed with that. Despite that though, I just don't like how this looks. I don't think it looks flattering on the skin. Let's see if I can move more on even lighting here. It like clings to all of the hair on my face. It is just not flattering. It's holding up, but I've tried other skin tints recently that just hold up better, and I'm not seeing anything that's worth $44 in my opinion. Like, this is a drugstore skin tint price, or should be, is my thought so far. I'm gonna give it another 4 or 5 hours, see where we end up. I mean, I am fairly shiny, that's normal. I wouldn't expect anything less. I could definitely be more shiny. I don't know, there's something about this I just don't love on my skin. Like, I don't look at myself and I'm just like, I really like how my makeup looks. I'm just like, okay, I'm wearing makeup. So that's where we're at so far. But I'll be inserting in my swatches right about now so you can at least compare shades, and then I will see you tonight in my final thoughts. It's now the end of the night. It's been almost 8 hours, but I'm calling it a little bit early only because this foundation looks absolutely terrible. It does not look good, and surprising to me because I did stay inside after my check-in, so I wasn't out in the sun, but it went downhill just really quickly. I mean, it is very shiny. It's separated like all up on my nose around here. So it does transfer. I am just going to try and blot it a little bit, see if that helps, but I don't have very big expectations for this. I mean, it's definitely helping, but you'll have to touch this up quite a bit. For me, this is just a no. I want to try it with maybe more of a mattifying primer. I'm going to do that next time, as well as setting it, because where I set the foundation, it didn't separate, but it did turn shiny. So maybe between those two things, it'll do a little bit better. But on its own, I'm just not impressed. Like I said, a couple weeks ago, I tried the Fenty Beauty, and the Fenty Beauty just blows this one out of the water. It's no competition. It just looks so much more blurring than this one. And I believe it's less expensive. $44, I just think it's a little bit too pricey, even for Clinique. I think some of their other actual foundations go for less than this. So I'm just overall not impressed. I would love to know your thoughts if you have this. I'm going to try not to keep this too long because I think it's just pretty obvious. It does look much, much better now, but I shouldn't have to work this hard. There's just something about it that's not flattering. It doesn't like sink all the way into your skin. It kind of just sits on top. It really clings to the hairs. There's just not much going for this. And for the type of coverage, I feel like it shouldn't look this heavy on the face. It looks really heavy, I think, is my problem with it. So this is a pass for me. There are way better skin tints out on the market. I know Clinique's a pretty popular just department counter brand, but I'm gonna have to explore some other foundations from them. This one is just, I think, not worth spending your money on. If you have a Holy Grail Clinique foundation, let me know down in the comments and maybe I'll prioritize that one. I'm not sure why I was really interested in it. I had it in my unopened drawer, but at some point I must have been, probably just because I like sheer tint kind of foundations, and the Moisture Surge line is really popular, so I probably just had a moment of weakness there and it was on sale or something. Other than that, I have nothing else to say. It's just a really bad foundation, and honestly, I'm counting down the minutes to go take a shower and wash this off right now. But I'm gonna leave it here. Hopefully these swatches were helpful, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, everyone.